All right, what up? It's Leonidas here, coming in from Dubai, and right behind me is the Burj Khalifa. All right, you can see it's quite a tall tower, and I have many things to say about Dubai, and most of them are incredibly amazing. Before this, I was in Georgia, Tbilisi, Georgia, and I have to just say that that place was a little bit ghetto. I mean, it's an older part of the history of humans. And then behind me is the Burj Dubai, which is the newer part of history in human architectural evolution and city planning. So basically, if your city was built in the last 30 to 40 years, and it had tons of money and tons of labor to put into effect, and a lot of the latest engineers, architects, and all that other stuff, this is what your city would look like. Okay, they're just building so freaking much. Behind us is this really cool, really amazing looking building. If you ever played the video game Home World, it looks like a spaceship. If we built a spaceship that just went through space and had galaxy traveling technology, this is what it would look like. And if you built a really massive tower that reached into the sky, almost 1 kilometer, that's what it would look like. Okay, so Dubai is pretty much a city out of nowhere. City built mostly in the last 40 years. Lots of investments. They made a lot of good financial decisions. There are no sales taxes here. There are pretty much no commercial taxes, no taxes on many things. If you want to buy a car, you can buy a car. Another interesting thing is if you rent yourself an apartment here or if you buy yourself an apartment here, they give you 2 sets of keys, one for your apartment or your condo or your house, and the other is for your new car that they give you. So that's like your little bonus. And of course the car depends on how much you decide to spend on your place. It can go anywhere from getting a Mini Cooper all the way to a BMW, a Mercedes. And if you have a lot of money, it will go all the way up to a, let's say, it can go all the way up to a Lamborghini, whatever a Lamborghini has, right? Murcielago, Aventador, whatever. So our phone's gonna overheat potentially, so let's make this another quick thing. I had an interesting experience yesterday. I was walking, after exploring the city, mostly in the palm regions. They had this like huge palm island artificial thing going on in the middle. After exploring that and taking a couple sightseeing tour buses, which are actually pretty expensive and I wouldn't really recommend them, but I did it anyway. I drove around, and then after doing this little exploration, started to walk back to my hotel. And on the way back to my hotel, I got this car pulled up in front of me, big SUV, and the guy asked me, "Do you know where this hotel is?" And I said, "Yeah, I know where the hotel is. It's actually pretty much near my hotel." So he says, "Oh, well, great. Do you need maybe you can show me where it is? Do you need a ride to wherever it is?" And figuring that I'm naive and I don't really give a shit. I don't really don't care too much. He offers me a ride and I say, all right, sure. So I hop into the car and he gives me a ride. As we're driving, he starts asking me questions and we just start a typical conversation. Where are you from? What do you do? Montreal, have you ever been to Toronto, Canada? What's your favorite place? The weather, et cetera, et cetera. Typical questions in a conversation. Then about 3 minutes later, we're about to go out and I'm about to hop out. And I point to him where his hotel is. He asks me, can I ask you one quick question? And I don't mean to be rude. So I say, yeah, sure. Because, Canadian hospitality, we don't really say no to questions, I guess. And he says, can I give you $3,000 to jerk you off? By the way, and then he quickly says, by the way, I have a wife and kids, so I'm not trying to imply anything. And I looked at him and I said, thank you for the offer, but no thank you. So that really made my day. I felt that was a really funny experience. I've never really had that happen to me before. Someone decides to offer me $3,000 to jerk me off. That would have been an interesting experience. Nonetheless, I went to my, hola. I went to my hotel, told the story, and of course, some of the guys also mentioned that this is what the people here do when they have lots of money, they have nothing better to do, they might as well just offer you money for various things. And as well, I highly recommend checking out Dubai. There's really nothing like it in the world, where it's just constant construction, everything is fairly new, and the infrastructure is really amazing. At least the architecture is really amazing and interesting. Okay. On the other hand, everything is really expensive, and it's pretty much like a giant luxury hotel. Like the whole city is pretty much just like a giant luxurious hotel through the and it's big too. Like honestly, on the map you might think, okay, they're building a couple buildings here and there. No, it is massive. I thought it would be a great idea to just walk around and just explore, because most of these cities that I've been to, they all have an old town, and anything outside of it is this kind of old, archaic, communist or apartments, you know, just very basic, nothing really interesting. But here in Dubai, everything's spread out and you have tons of really tall buildings. It's quite fascinating. So if you get a chance to travel to Dubai, I highly recommend it. You expect to spend at least a minimum $500 just on enjoying yourself, really. And yeah, come on in. The weather's nice, it's warm. And I haven't really been to the top there. Maybe I'll go there today. There you go. Burj Khalifa in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. All right, hope you enjoyed my video. And I will see you in the next city, which will be Sofia, Bulgaria. Cheers. We're still recording.